Hi, this is Roger, and welcome to another Tiger Shark Studios update. This update is going to be a little bit more laid back. I'm going to basically just cover a few topics that I've had floating on my mind. The first one is obviously lack of updates and why I haven't been on YouTube for so long. And then I'm going to cover just some things that's going on, or actually that went on last week at the Unity Unite 2013 event, which was in Vancouver, which is really good. And then I'm just going to do a short book review on one of my favourite artists, just some other background information that's going on there. So the reason I haven't been on YouTube is I've been literally just caught up with family affairs, business affairs, just things going on that has just literally taken my time. And right now I'm getting back into my groove of doing more art assets and expanding the portfolio and asset base of Tiger Shark Studios. I'm working on some really cool and innovative models, some bigger expansion packs. I've been working with collaborating with some other people. And just basically, just been spitballing, really flushing out my brain and just getting my creative juices flowing. It's just been really good. It's just taken my time totally away from YouTube. So what I'm going to try to do, hopefully with my new schedule that I'll have in place, I'll be able to actually get back onto YouTube and at least give you maybe a fortnightly, 3 weeks, at the worst case a month update, which is going to be really cool to give you the new artwork. So that's one of the reasons why I just haven't been here. I've been, basically when you're creating, you haven't got time to do other things. You have to prioritize, and that's what's happened. So that's where I've been. And then just covering, just moving on to some of the events that's been going on recently in Vancouver. There's a couple of industry parties I went to, and nice things going on. A couple of my friends' studios are really beginning to start looking to hire again, which is always good. Hearing that your friends are going to start employing people is never a bad thing. So always, bodes well for the future for the Vancouver game scene. And coming on the back of that, we had Unity 3D's Unite 2013 event at Vancouver Exhibition Centre, which was really cool. We got to see the latest and greatest from the Unity guys. They introduced Unity 2D and how they're going to be bringing their adapting their 3D engine to become a fully blown 2D engine, which is really cool, and just expands the market for everybody, which is really great. And then there was a lot of motion capture data, facial animation data that was being manipulated by third-party middleware producers, which is really nice to see. And the way it's going with Unity, you literally do not need to know anything about games or creating games. You can, if you've got the patience and the wherewithal to get a free copy of Unity, sit down, do the tutorials, do a little bit of research, be persistent with it, you can create assets, you can create a game, you can have a hit. So that was really good to hear. Now I managed to sit in on the keynote and get some notes, but I had to leave it early because I had another event to go to. But I picked up on the keynote on the YouTube Unity channel, and I just grabbed some notes of some of the things that I thought were like real bombshells. Now, if you're like me and you're into continuing your education and continuing to learn, you probably have a mentor. I have a mentor, and he always advises me on where to aim my career, and I can bounce ideas off him. It's really good, because then you always have like someone that you can have a gut check against. Am I doing the right thing? What do you think? You just get someone to bounce your ideas off. And the interesting thing about having a mentor is he's always telling me, make sure that you're going out there and finding out what's going on. So obviously at the Unite 2013, in the keynote, I was taking notes, and because I had to go and leave that keynote, I grabbed it on YouTube, and I watched it the entire keynote by David Hegelson all the way through. And there was some bombshells that David dropped for what he's doing with his company. The first one was that he said that there was 400,000 developers, give or take. I mean, from what he said in his YouTube, and out of those 400,000 developers, I think they were servicing nearly 2 million or over 2 million users, conservative numbers. So there's a massive indie development community on using Unity 3D, and there's a massive user community as well. But he said these numbers were conservative because people are using Unity 3D and they're not telling them that they're using Unity 3D because obviously commercial reasons, whatever. But then there was something for those of you who are using, use Unity to sell your assets as part of your portfolio of products that you might produce. He dropped a bombshell and said that 10% of the Unity developers, I think it's like almost 4 or 5 years ago, were making between $100 and $1,000 a month. The top 10%. And he said that maybe 2 years ago it was between 1,000 and 5,000 or 6,000 a month. The top 10% were making for monthly income from selling products on the asset store. And then he said the top 10% of the 400,000 that they know of are making $90,000 a month. Yeah, $90,000. The top 10%. If it's 400,000 people, and that's 40,000 making $90,000 a month. So almost 6 figures. Now, I had to stop the video, call some of my friends who actually sat through the keynote and said, "Did he really say that?" And they were yes. They confirmed it. I spoke to them at length on the phone, and they said, "Yeah, he said that." Now, he also went on to say that obviously the way the asset store is blown up, it's life changing. You've got developers who have literally quit their jobs and gone on just doing Unity code, Unity art full time, and it's really amazing when you hear that. I actually met Carlos, who's one of the Unity evangelists. He's part of the Unity Corporation, and he actually, when I met him at a private event a few months back, he actually said to me that he was using some of my art assets in his tutorials and his talks, which is pretty cool, pretty nice to know. And so just getting back to the fact that 10% of the 400,000 are making $90,000 a month. So obviously for me, it's like I have taken advice from my my friends and my mentor, and obviously I'm not thinking about. And if you notice with Tiger Shark, I never just stick my eggs in one basket. I never just totally go with one thing. Hence why, I haven't been on YouTube, because I've been developing other avenues, as you should. But just hearing that number really made me pause and think about where I want to take Tiger Shark, because when you hear that kind of those numbers being spoken of, you have to start thinking the games industry is really maturing, and it's maturing to a point where a few guys can make a big difference. You can but don't get me wrong, you've got to work hard. There's no doubt about it. You've got to work hard. If you're committed and you work hard, you can do well. You can do extremely well. So so that was the biggest thing I took away from the assets, from the Unite 2013. I also got to meet the asset store. I should say the people who look after the asset store, Caitlin and a few other people, and they were really nice to me. It's good to put a face to a name after working with them for so long, and we just bounced ideas and came up with some new things I think they should try and do, and it was good to talk to them. So anyway, I mean, there was also some really awesome giveaways. The Microsoft you could call it a developer room, project room. They had a really good deal where they were saying if you had a Unity game and you brought your code in on a thumb drive or jumpstick or whatever and recompiled it through Unity and dropped it to their platform, the Windows 8 platform, and got it to run, and then obviously got it to run on a Windows 8 phone, touchscreen phone, they would give you a touchscreen phone. And I saw a lot of people running home, coming back to convention center, dropping in their thumb drive, compiling, and it was a great idea. If you were smart and you had 3 or 4 projects, you could have recompiled those projects and walked out there with maybe 5 or 6 phones. Just saying that, from a commercial point of view, that's 5 or 6 $300 phones that you would have owned just for recompiling your code and successfully getting it to run on a Windows 8 phone. So really, really good opportunities for people there. BlackBerry were giving away deals, and of course, with any convention, the obligatory t-shirts were being given away. I think I got 3 or 4 Facebook Unity t-shirts and a couple of BlackBerry t-shirts. So that was very good. The parties were great. Best one I went to was the Facebook Unity party. That one was literally all you could eat, all you could drink for like 5 hours, which was awesome. It was a really nice spread. Saw a lot of my old industry friends, met some new friends, schmoozed. Brilliant place to really throw down and find out what's going on the indie stroke pro scene for game development. So it was really good. So that's basically what happened last week in the Unite 2013. Now, what I'm going to do now is just move on to the book review. So I really, as you know, I love looking at art books, using art books for reference, and just trying new styles and new skills. And this guy, I kind of discovered his work quite some time ago, almost I think nearly 10 years ago. And I never realised, he was so proficient. But basically, the guy's name is Francis Tsai, and this is his first book, which is called Fantasy Figures: 100 Ways to Create Fantasy Figures. Yeah, it's a really, really good book, and you basically get all your classic. I don't know if I can actually show you here. Your classic characters. He's got like some crazy creature design sketches, some kind of demon character there, and he shows you the color image and then some pencil sketches of other images, how he breaks it down, how he creates it. And this book is really, really good. I think I got it off Amazon for maybe $15. It was pretty good deal. And I love his pencil style. I love his coloring. I just like the way he develops his ideas. Really, really good. And I had a lot of fun using this book. It's always good for reference. It's called 100 Ways to Create Fantasy Figures by Francis Tsai. And then the second book by Francis Tsai is this one called Extreme Worlds, which is one of my all-time favorites because I'm really into sci-fi. I love making mech and all that kind of cyberpunk stuff, and also kind of spinning it off into other realms. And this is a lot like my other friend's book, Gary Tong, when I showed you Gary Tong's book in the last book review. He breaks it down how he creates his characters, his designs. Lots of great information, lots of great thoughts and feelings as he's developing this. And obviously covers some of the basics, like you've got 3-point perspective there and things like that. So I've loved this guy's work for so long. I've really followed his work, followed his websites, and just basically he's great. And then because I'm a member on DeviantArt, he was actually on DeviantArt, and then I think I linked to him on Facebook. And I think it was 2010, 2011, 2010, either one of his friends or someone put out an email or a message on his Facebook saying that he was suffering from some degenerative disease, and I was like, what are you talking about? The guy's producing art. I mean, I don't get it. So, and I completely, this is like back in 2010, I completely just dismissed it and carried on with my life, didn't even think anything about it. And then recently, just going through my books and just, coming up with ideas, I looked at it, I thought, oh, let me just Google this guy again. And I found out that, let me just check it, I found out that he had what is called, I don't know if I'm going to try and see if I can pronounce it. It's called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, or ALS, but we know it as Lou Gehrig's disease. Now, I had no idea what Lou Gehrig's disease was. I had to look it up, and whilst I was looking it up, I found a link to Francis Tsai on Wikipedia, and it actually went into a lot more detail. And it says the disease took his ability to move his arms, hands, and he hasn't held a pencil since 2011. And I'm like, whoa, because this guy is producing awesome work. What is going on? And if I remember rightly, just looking at some of I'm just going to see when these books were published. I think they were published in 2009. 2009, and this other one was, I think this is going to be either 2008, 2009. I think this one is telling me 2008. So 2008, 2009. So he hasn't been drawing since 2011. And I was like, wow, okay, so what's going on with this guy? I did a little bit more research, and I found out that he completely lost the use of his arms and his legs. So he can't walk. He's basically immobilized. And, well, actually, I'll backtrack that. Sorry. He lost the use of his arms and his hands and his arms. He started drawing with his feet. And what they're saying here is that he was drawing with his feet until he lost the use of his feet. But he was actually producing quality artwork with his feet. And I was like, wow, it totally reminded me of that film, My Left Foot, with Daniel Day-Lewis, and that was about another famous person, in true life famous person who was writing, I think he was writing novels with his feet or drawing with his feet. I can't remember the film, but the film is good. I did see it, I just can't remember a lot of the details. It's called My Left Foot, Daniel Day-Lewis, and I know it won an Oscar, or he won an Oscar for it. But anyway, getting back to Francis Tsai, so the guy is drawing with his feet, and then he loses the ability to draw with his feet, and obviously the ability to move around, and so he's immobilized. So I'm like, well, okay, has he stopped doing art? Went further into the research, found out that he's using his eyes. He's got tech, and he's using his eyes to drive the tech, and he's producing high quality art. Now, I YouTubed it, I checked CNN, and I watched it, and I was like, oh man, the guy is like Stephen Hawking in a wheelchair, immobilized, and it's just his eyes moving, and he's producing high quality art. I was like, wow. I was shocked, and it got me thinking. It's like, obviously everybody is busy, we've all got our lives to lead, and we all say, oh, I'm going to do this thing tomorrow, and you procrastinate, you know what I mean. We're all busy, and it got me thinking, because I was thinking, what's my excuse? Why am I not producing artwork to that level? If this guy is using his eyes and producing high quality art, I should have no excuse, and therefore you should have no excuse. So for me, it was like it was just another reminder that there are no limits. The only limits we have are the ones we put on ourselves. There are no limits. If you want to go do something, go do it. Period. No excuses. So that was just a little bit of background information on Francis Tsai. I love his books. His artwork is good. I'm looking at more of his artwork that he's drawing with his eyes, and I am just like I said, I looked at it and I was speechless. I encourage you to Google him, have a look at it, check him out on YouTube. I think you'll be pretty much impressed that this guy who has Lou Gehrig's disease, he cannot move his arms and his legs, and he's drawing with his eyes, which is just totally impressive. And it's just a reminder that, you know, there's a lot of people in the world who are complaining about XYZ and why they haven't got this, that, and the other. And it's like, you should have no excuses. And you know, it's, for me, I like finding those stories because it gives me a kick up the backside to do more work and to be more professional, to get more product out there, because there really is no excuse. There should be no excuse. So that's where I want to leave you today. Obviously, there's some new assets coming out on from Tiger Shark Studios. Hopefully, I will be able to see you soon with those new assets available on the Unity Asset Store, and there'll be hybrid versions of those products and assets on the Tiger Shark Studios website. And I'll say watch this space, because there are other products which I've been working on which are going to be coming out on other platforms. So Tiger Shark Studios is expanding, and the main thing that I'm trying to do now is obviously get more more videos out there for you guys to watch on the YouTube channel, and basically just you know, spreading the love, trying to keep everybody, you know, producing and doing the best they can. So this is Roger signing off, and I'll see you soon. Bye.